Hi, I'm Phương from local Vietnam, and I'm going to tell you what to expect from this 3-week trip to northern and central Vietnam.
Before I tell you all about this trip, I'll first briefly explain who we are. Local Vietnam is a half Western and half Vietnamese travel agency. We really are local. Our whole team is based in Vietnam, and we are also fully specialized in Vietnam. Therefore, what we can offer you is that we can fully customize this tour to your wishes. Whether you have specific hotel needs, want to extend or shorten your trip, a different destination or tour, anything is possible. And we don't charge extra for changes. Another advantage of our local presence is that you have direct contact with us during your trip. In Hanoi, you will meet someone from local Vietnam, and we give a free SIM card with this tour so you can keep in touch via WhatsApp anytime, anywhere. We are in the same time zone, and because we arrange everything ourselves without intermediaries, we can solve any problems ourselves and answer and adjust any questions or changes during your trip immediately. Now, let's dive a little deeper into this round trip. If I personally had to make a list of the most beautiful regions, North Vietnam would clearly be number 1, followed by Central Vietnam and number 3 South Vietnam. That is the reason why we have developed this 3-week tour with only North and Central Vietnam. With this, we really focus on where, according to us, you can find the most beautiful nature with mountains and jungles, the most impressive countryside with terraced rice fields, and the most unique culture with historical buildings and traditional ethnic hill tribes. Because of this, you will absolutely not regret not going to South Vietnam in this trip. In this trip through both North and Central Vietnam, you will find the best weather between February and May. The north is still dry then, but it just starts getting warmer after the colder winter months. In Central Vietnam, the dry season just begins in February. This is also a very nice tour during the summer period. Central Vietnam still gets very little rain, so perfect for the beach. The north does get a lot of rain, but often only briefly and not all day. The big advantage, however, is that the nature and countryside is just at its most beautiful. Think full waterfalls, green forests, and the rice fields are in bloom. This tour will take you to Sapa, a beautiful area and highlight of many of our travelers. But would you like to visit a more remote area where there are fewer tourists? Then Pulong could be a good alternative. This region is smaller and offers fewer activities, but the incredibly peaceful atmosphere and beautiful scenery may be a good reason to consider it. In Pulong, there are also 2 rice harvesting seasons, one in spring and one in summer, while in Sapa there is only one in summer. This tour includes trekking, for which you really don't have to be extremely fit. But if you have mobility problems or doubt whether you can handle this, please let us know. We can arrange an alternative or a completely private tour adapted to your capabilities.
I'm going to show you the entire trip now. And again, remember that we can still modify everything about this trip.
Upon arrival in Hanoi, a personal transfer awaits you to take you directly to your hotel in the heart of the Old Quarter. In Hanoi, you can explore the chaotic charm of the Old Quarter, with scooters and street stalls everywhere in the narrow old streets. It can be overwhelming, but something you must have experienced at least once. In the evening, you go on a unique street food tour with a local guide. It is one of the most fun ways to explore Hanoi and learn about the culture while also safely tasting the best local dishes. In Sapa, you will find the highest mountain pass in Vietnam, the Tram Ton Pass. You will explore this mountain pass by car together with a private driver. On the way, you will also stop at a waterfall. If you have time to extend the tour and also like it, we can add a day trip from Sapa to visit a market of ethnic hill tribes or take the cable car to the top of Phan Xipang, Vietnam's highest mountain. In Sapa, the highlight is the world-famous terraced rice fields, and the best way to explore them is with a trekking tour. a local guide will take you past beautiful viewpoints. You will also walk through villages of ethnic minorities where people in their beautiful clothes live in a very traditional way, as if time has stood still here for more than 100 years. Depending on your fitness level and wishes, there are several options, such as a private walk or with a small group, a short trek or long trek. There are even multi-day trekking where you stay overnight in a local homestay of ethnic minorities. These are very basic homes, so don't expect luxury, but it gives you a unique insight into the life of the people here. In Ha Giang, you begin the famous Ha Giang Loop. For many of our travelers, this is the highlight in Vietnam. After all, here you will find the most beautiful mountain area in all of Southeast Asia. Not only that, you also have the highest number of ethnic minority groups in Vietnam here. These people here live very traditionally. They live in houses made of clay, wood or in stilt houses. They wear colorful traditional clothing and they do old crafts. One of the most fun things to do in Ha Giang is also to visit an ethnic minority market or stay overnight at ethnic minorities' homes. Our Ha Giang Loop will take you through beautiful scenery, over giant mountain passes, and discovering these unique cultures along the way in 3 days. In this round trip, you will do this route by car with private driver, but if you are up for the adventure, we are happy to arrange an easy rider for you where you climb on the back of the motorcycle of a very experienced rider who will take you like a local for an epic adventure. For many people, the iconic Ha Long Bay is high on their Vietnam bucket list, but in this trip, we take you to Lan Ha Bay. This bay is next to Ha Long Bay, is just as beautiful, probably even more beautiful, but most importantly, it is much less touristy. By the way, another advantage is that it is next to Cat Ba, but I'll get to that in a moment. In Lan Ha Bay, you take a beautiful cruise through the bay with many mountains and giant rocks. The water here is very calm, so you don't have to worry about getting seasick. You can swim here, and you will take a kayak trip to explore hidden lagoons. In the evening, sip a delicious cocktail on the deck as you watch the sun go down. Since many of our travelers find it a bit too much to spend 3 days and 2 nights on a cruise, we have created a unique tour for this round trip by combining Lan Ha Bay with Cat Ba, the largest island in area of Ha Long. In fact, on Cat Ba, you can enjoy biking over flat terrain and short treks through the national park where you can spot wild monkeys and enjoy viewpoints. This gives you a bit more to do and see than just a cruise. But should you not want to do this or have difficulty walking, we can easily adjust this to cruise only. Welcome to Ninh Binh. Despite being a very popular tourist destination in Vietnam, Ninh Binh has retained its tranquility and charm. It has beautiful landscapes of karst mountains and rocks that cut across the countryside, the reason why it is also called Ha Long Bay on land. In this trip, we have planned a tour that takes you to, in our opinion, the absolute highlights of the province. For example, you take a rowboat tour through the beautiful UNESCO landscape of Trang An. You sail past gigantic steep mountains and even go straight through them via caves. Along the way, you can also visit hidden temples. Another stop in this Ninh Binh tour is Mua Cave. Climb the stairs up for the most beautiful viewpoint in Ninh Binh. Enjoy the stunning view of the area. You will also make a visit to Hoi An. Here you will find remains of what used to be the capital of Vietnam more than 1,000 years ago. In addition, this is located in beautiful surroundings by mountains and forests. During this tour, you will also take a bicycle tour through the quiet countryside of Ninh Binh, where you can spot goats and buffaloes and take pictures of the vast rice fields. Continue your journey by exploring Phong Nha, Ha Giang National Park. Here you will find the real jungle, often seen only in movies. Also found here are some of the largest caves in the world. For nature lovers, this is a highlight of Vietnam, and because of its remote setting, few tourists come here. In a one-day tour, you will visit the 2 most popular caves in the national park. Both caves are very walkable, huge inside, and have landscaped paths, so you don't have to worry if you are claustrophobic. But if you are looking for something more adventurous though, we can adapt this. The first cave is Phong Nha Cave, named after the national park. To get to the entrance, you take a boat ride across the river. Along the way, you enjoy the real countryside, water buffalo cooling off in the river and the forests of the national park. Once at the entrance, you take a walk through the cave before returning by boat. Next, you visit Paradise Cave, located deep in the jungle but easily accessible by road. Paradise Cave is gigantic, huge cave rooms with unique formations of stalagmites and stalagmites. The cave is beautifully lit and there are good paths laid out. To go from Hue to Phong Nha or from Phong Nha to Hue, we have put together our own unique sightseeing transfer. Why? Well, between these two destinations you will find the DMZ. This was the border between North and South Vietnam during the Vietnam War, and you can still find some remnants from this fierce time. In this transfer, you will visit some of these places that will take you back in time. The Vinh Mộc Tunnels is a tunnel network where an entire village lived for years to survive the American bombs. You can now explore the underground village yourself to get an idea of how people lived here for years. Khe Sanh Combat Base was a US Army base with an airfield. Little of it remains, but you can still see the airstrip here, visit a bunker and see abandoned American vehicles, including a tank, helicopter and army plane. You also visit the Hien Luong Bridge, which stood right on the border between North and South Vietnam, and where you can still see the propaganda speakers. Hue is the ancient capital of Vietnam, with dozens of temples, tombs and palaces, some of which are hundreds of years old. In this city, you will tour some of the most unique sites. The most famous place you will visit with a local guide is the Imperial Citadel, with magnificent gates, palaces and temples. You will then also visit the most impressive tombs and you will enjoy a peaceful boat ride on the Perfume River on a dragon boat. The road between Hoi An and Hue, where you find the Ha Giang Pass, is considered one of the most beautiful routes in Vietnam. It was made famous in the British car show Top Gear, where they rode this route with scooters and called the Hai Van Pass, one of the most beautiful coastal roads in the world. That's why in this round trip we don't just take you from A to B, you do it by sightseeing transfer. You will go by car with private driver, but if, like the gentleman of Top Gear, you want to do it by motorcycle, we can also offer you an easy rider tour where you do this route on the back of a motorbike with experienced riders. We also have the option of doing this route by old and open military jeep. On this route, you will visit the Marble Mountains. In these limestone mountains, you will find caves with hidden temples. Take your time to discover them. You'll also make a visit to La Pan Lagoon for a more authentic look at Vietnamese fishing life and the beautiful beach of Lang Co. But the highlight is the beautiful Hai Van Pass route. Along the way, you'll stop frequently to enjoy the views, and since this is a private ride, you'll be able to stop anywhere you want to soak in the views or take a photo. Welcome to Hoi An. Hoi An is a small historic town in central Vietnam. Because of its beautiful historic downtown, it is also called the most beautiful city in Vietnam and is on the UNESCO World Heritage List. The town is full of picturesque historical houses, temples, tailors and cafes. And in the evening in the town beautifully lit with lanterns and you can go shopping at the night market. Just outside the city, you will find traditional rural life with rice paddies, fishing villages, water buffaloes, and you name it. A great area to explore by bicycle. In addition, Hoi An also has relaxing beaches to unwind on this Vietnam trip. Therefore, this is a place where we would like to let you enjoy a little longer and also give you more time to make your own planning. Because whether you want to explore a lovely town, go on bicycle through the countryside, or have a relaxing day at the beach, there is something for everyone. With a guided bicycle tour through the countryside of Hoi An, you can experience the more authentic Vietnamese life. There are plenty of photo opportunities with rice fields, water buffaloes, craft villages, and the river. Depending on your wishes, we can customize the bike tour with additional activities, including a trip in a basket boat through the coconut mangrove, or actively participate in working on the land to get vegetables, or participate in a Vietnamese cooking class. Depending on what you choose, it often takes half a day, so you can spend the other half of the day exploring the old town on your own or relaxing on Hoi An's beach. This trip finally ends in Hanoi. Here you get a private transfer to the airport for your international flight back.
Do you have any question or would you like to customize something on this trip? Please feel free to contact us. Hope to see you in beautiful Vietnam.